Hello, everybody, and welcome to Finding Your Innergator podcast, where we talk about discipline, relationships, and the habits that release the greatness that is already inside of you. I'm your host, R.B. Wright, and I am so glad that you're here. In each episode, we'll explore powerful lessons, real-life stories, and practical strategies to help you live intentionally, build meaningful relationships, and unlock your full potential. But greatness isn't something you stumble into. It's something that is built every single day. So let's get started and begin the journey to finding your Innergator. Let me start with a simple question. Think about where you are in your life right now, your career, your opportunities, your progress. Now ask yourself this: how many of those things happen because of relationships? Because someone believed in you, opened a door, made an introduction, or gave you an opportunity? If you're honest about it, you'll realize something powerful, something very powerful. No one achieves greatness alone. All right, guys, so glad that you're here. I am really looking forward to today's episode. This is R.B. Wright. You're listening to Finding Your Innergator. And over the past several episodes, we've actually been walking through the Innergator framework. Now, at the very beginning, I told you that GATOR stands for greatness achieved through optimizing relationships. I also told you that each letter represents a daily discipline as well. Get clear. Act with discipline. Track your progress. Measure it. Optimize relationships and then reflect and reset. Today we're talking about the O. And honestly, this might be the most powerful one of them all. Optimize relationships. Let's talk about the truth about success. Here's something I've learned over decades in business, and I've seen it over and over again. Your opportunities in life will almost always come through other people. Not through systems, not through luck, but through relationships. A mentor will open up a door for you. A friend makes an introduction. A colleague recommends you for an opportunity. A customer trusts you enough to do business with you, and they refer. That relationship creates the trust where they refer more business to you. Relationships create the momentum. In my mind, relationships are a compounding asset, right? They're compounding assets. Think about the relationship like an investment. When you invest in people over time, that investment compounds. The problem is that, in my opinion anyway, most people treat relationships like transactions. They only reach out when they need something. But people who build powerful networks, they're doing something different. They invest in people before they need anything. They stay connected. They encourage. They support. They check in. And over time, those relationships grow stronger. And strong relationships create opportunities, right? Opportunities. You know, many of you, I talk about it all the time, Captain R.B. I spend a lot of time on the water, spend a lot of time fishing, and when I'm fishing tournaments, and when you're fishing tournaments, if you're fishing a lot like I am, you start noticing some things, right? One of the things that I've noticed is that the most successful fishermen rarely operate alone. They really share information. They talk about water temperatures. They discuss bait patterns. They help each other learn. That's because we understand something, that when people work together, everyone gets better. Everyone gets better. One of the things about relationships that's pretty cool when it comes to fishing is there's a captain I knew here in town, Captain Blake, nice guy, much younger than me, nice guy. He's a fishy guy, right? He's a real fishy guy. And I ran into him and just said, hey, love to have you fish with me on my team sometime. And he did. And he was learning some stuff from us. I was learning some stuff from him. He's been on the water a lot. We went to a certain area, and we ended up catching a mahi that won the mahi division. It was a collaborative effort. But I do think had he been by himself, or had I been by myself, and we'd not been working together as a team, we never would have won that tournament. Like I said, life works the same way, guys. The strongest leaders will always surround themselves with strong relationships. How do you optimize relationships? What does it actually mean when I say optimize relationships? It means being intentional about the people in your life. A few questions that you need to ask yourself regularly is, who can I encourage today, right? Who can I help today? Who should I reconnect with today? Who has helped me that maybe I should thank? Those simple actions strengthen relationships. And strong relationships can create powerful networks. You know, there's a law out there, a principle in life called reciprocity. When you consistently add value to others, for some odd reason, people naturally want to add value back. It has to be genuine. It cannot be transactional. You have to have genuine interest in other people, genuine support, genuine encouragement, the kind of relationship, that kind of relationship, right? It changes everything. It changes everything. A really good friend of mine, his name's Will. And there's 2 or 3 of us on Saturday mornings. If we're not fishing, we'll hop in a boat and go to a local little restaurant called Sears Landing. We usually leave the dock about 7:45 and just cruise down the waterway, having a cup of coffee, pull in, and we'll go sit at the bar area and have breakfast and talk. Something he said to me, and this is not by any means braggadocious, but it proved a point. He said, one of the things I got to tell you, R.B., that I appreciate is that when we're having breakfast or we're hanging out, you're not buried in your phone. You're present. And you make me feel that what I'm saying is important to you. Even if you're listening to somebody and you're staring at your phone or saying, hey, I'm sorry, I got to take this real quick. If you are there sitting with them, but you're not engaged in the conversation, they know it. Bill Cosgrove said one time, a couple of times, that your head and your butt should always be in the same place. I love that. I love that. You should always be present in the moment that you're trying to build a relationship with somebody. And I'm going to tell you a lesson that my wife taught me a long time ago, and I learned it the hard way, is that a relationship can never exist without communication. It needs to be effective communication. And communication isn't somebody talking to you and you're buried in your phone. Communication is eye contact, listening, and they know that you're listening. That's how you build a relationship. Communication is a two-way street. Be present. How do we tie this to Innergator? Remember what we talked about from the beginning? Inside of every person is an Innergator. It's that greatness inside of you. But greatness does not grow in isolation. Remember that. Greatness does not grow in isolation. It grows through relationships, through collaboration. through people helping each other rise. When you start intentionally investing in people, something powerful happens and your opportunities will multiply. And let me just take it a step further. We're going to talk about this at some point. You should be encouraging with honest conversations with the people in your network, right? Your friends. And again, this is a deeper conversation as we really start going through relationships. I could tell you story after story of how this thought process has changed my life, because I believe you are a reflection of the top 5 people you hang out with. I believe that fully. If they're not pushing you, having honest conversations with you to help you reach your goals, reach the level, get out of your comfort zone, pushing you hard, if they're not doing that, if they're just saying whatever it is that you want to hear, I submit to you that you don't have a circle of friends. You've got a cage. They're holding you back, and we're going to deep dive that. We're going to deep dive that. But the power of relationships is not just the ability to be able to leverage that relationship, to optimize that relationship, but understand that you grow. You should always surround yourself with people to your left, to your right, below you and above you. I believe that's how you hire. Maybe not in hierarchy. Maybe not in hierarchy, but in knowledge. You don't want to be the smartest guy in the room. You want to learn from them and they learn from you. Here's your challenge for the week. Reach out to 3 people. I didn't mean to get on that tangent. It just random stream of consciousness just hit me. Reach out to 3 people, just 3. Maybe it's someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Maybe it's someone who helped you along the way, who gave you an opportunity. What we're just talking about. Maybe it's someone that you need to encourage, that you need to hold to a higher standard. Send a message, make a phone call, reconnect. Because relationships will grow, but only grow when you invest in them. I hope that made sense to you. It's powerful. It's powerful. Next week, we're going to talk about the final discipline in the entire Innergator framework, these disciplines of winning your day, right? And that's the R. Reflect and reset. And the reason that's important is because growth only happens when we learn from our experiences. I hope you have a great week, and I hope you win the week. I hope you reset some of your relationships. I hope you understand the value of the relationships. And I look forward to seeing this relationship continue to grow when we talk next week. Thanks, guys. Everybody, thank you so much for listening to the Finding Your Innergator podcast. You know, if today's episode helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Remember, greatness is achieved through discipline, intentional action, and optimizing the relationships around you. I look forward to getting with you next week. Now, go Gatorize your day.